about your development record, because this is your pet subject. You speak about it in every forum you go. Correct. Tell us what Jubilee has done. But let me begin with this, because this is very important to Kenyans.
I know many people, I have heard many people discuss about, okay, you made promises, you haven't kept some of them. As we talk today, in 6 months' time, the stadium in Wote will be complete. In 3 months' time, the stadium in Chuka will be complete. In 3 months' time, the stadium in Moyale will be complete. In 6 months' time, the stadium in Kamarin in West Pokot, which is historic, will be complete. In a couple of months, the stadium in Eldoret will be complete. In Nyeri, the president gave the title. There was a challenge of title. Now we have a title, and now the program has been rolled out. In Kiambu, in another 3-4 months, the stadium will be complete. We have challenges. We have a small challenge in Mombasa because the county government has issues of ownership of the land, although all the contracts and everything has been signed for, including the tartan for the stadium is in place. We have a small challenge again in Kisumu because the county government has not relocated the dumping site, which is next to the stadium, and international requirements dictate that you cannot have a dumping site side by side with a stadium. As soon as that is relocated, that process will be complete. So instead of 5 stadiums, we actually went for 9, just to make it good and to make it better. We actually went for 9, just to make it good and to make it better.
All right, Your Excellency, why did you lie to Kenyans on that podium? You have seen side by side the pictures of the stadiums you mentioned. In 2-3 months, 2017, before the election came and went. We are in 2020. Why did you lie to Kenyans about the stadiums?
I think lie is a very heavy word. Let me tell you, Ken. If you take our commitments, the commitments we made in Jubilee, we made a commitment about the railway, we made a commitment about the roads, we made a commitment about electricity, we made a commitment about Tibet, we made many commitments, including the stadium. Assuming that you're right, that not much has happened with the stadium, and we have delivered on 8 out of 10 of our commitments. Have we failed? Did we lie?
Assuming.
You know?
Yes.
And for your information, yeah, that's why I'm telling you, because we have delivered on our programs. Yeah? This particular one, and I was expecting, this particular one about the stadium is the one issue consistently that you have. This is actually the only project you have.
No, we talk about unemployment.
No,
we talk about
this
unemployment
is the only
also.
project you have.
We talk about unemployment.
In fact, if we had failed, you would not be bringing this stadium every time. You would be bringing something else. But you have looked for anything else to bring on our commitments you have not found.
Employment.
Let me tell you the following.
Yes.
Let's go back to the stadium. Yes, in 2007, the president and myself, and for your information, you know, it is being, whenever William Ruto appears, it is being made to look like William Ruto was supposed to look for money from his pocket to go and construct the stadium.
Is that the problem?
You know, that's what you seem to be saying.
No.
You know, this is a Jubilee program, number 1. Number 2, if you go today to Wote, is there a stadium or is there another stadium? The stadium is in Wote has been built. It is not complete. The stadium, everywhere I have mentioned there, the stadiums have been built, they are not complete.
But you promised them
many
will be
of them.
completed.
Let me finish. In 2017, we didn't anticipate a repeat election. We went into a repeat election, we spent another 15 billion shillings. This is public money, right? In some of the cases that are not complete, we ran into trouble with contractors, like Nyeri, like many other areas. And when you run into a problem with contractors, you go to court, takes 2-3 years to sort matters in court. But let me tell you, as an administration, we are going to deliver on this project.
Okay.
And in a short while, before the next election, you will have to look for something else to ask me. And let me also tell you the following, Ken, that on this subject, we ran into issues, but the stadium in Moyale is there. The stadium in every other place. It is only that they are not complete on the time that we stated as an administration. If you look, for example, at the Jubilee Manifesto, we talked about the expressway in 2013. The expressway that we are now embarking on, that will be that the president launched the other day, is now being delivered. So, in other words, let me tell you,
promising this will happen.
The fact that there is delay on delivery of one program or another program does not amount to a lie, and it doesn't amount to reneging on our commitment.
I'm glad. You have said before the election they'll be complete. Perhaps,
and you'll have to look for something else to ask.
Perhaps you will use their completion to campaign. That
Why
you
not?
see, we asked and we delivered, even as we look for something else.
But tell me just, what is wrong with that, Ken?
There's nothing wrong except that you promised us in months and it's not happened. Okay. And now you've given the excuse of money and you're the government. With the court cases and all, I believe they can be resolved. Yeah. But there's no money. All the sound bites that we played when we began the show, there is no money in people's pockets. Mm-hmm. There is no employment for the young people. This is also one of the commitments you made. Apprentice, paid apprentice. It's not happening. It's also a promise that was empty. Mm-hmm. It's not, paid apprentice is not happening. You promised 1 million jobs. It's not happening. So these are also promises that you made that have not been fulfilled. So it's not only the stadium. Yes.
Okay, Ken. It is true, that we have difficult economic situations, and let me tell you, our first 5 years, we ran our programs the first 5 years. In fact, in the first 5 years, we made many decisions, right? The boardroom that is just next to this, I spent many hours with ministers, with permanent secretaries, with directors of institutions, with director generals of institutions, to fashion many things. We worked on the SGR. In fact, we had so much trouble with the SGR, the president had to issue a statement with the entire cabinet that we are going to construct the SGR anyway, despite the opposition that was there. In my boardroom here, we made the decision to have 3 categories of roads: the trunk roads, the stage construction, and the low volume roads. That's why we have a huge rollout of the road network in our country. We made the decision on how to change the frame of the electrification of the country. We made the change on TVET. We made many decisions, and we delivered. The problem we have the last 2 years, because we were building a base with infrastructure, with energy, with human capital development. These 5 years, we brought in the Big Four, the president's Big Four, which is supposed now to, building on that framework, number 1, universal health coverage, to make sure that people are not finding it difficult and expensive to meet their health bills. Food security, food production, agro-processing, value addition, to deal with the problem of the cost of living and to ensure that we build on that base. The whole issue of housing, by the way, housing, and many people are asking us, what are you talking about housing? Why everybody has their own house? What is this housing about? The housing is not about the houses. The housing is about the jobs. The 500,000 houses we intend to build, for every one house, you need 5 young people.
It's still an intention.
No, it's not an intention. In fact,
you said
you will see
the
the president in the next couple of weeks receiving the first batch of houses constructed in Nairobi.
It's underway.
You saw the president launch the 17,000 houses in Mlolongo. They're beginning the construction. So that is the problem. The problem, Ken, is that the last 2 years we ran into headwinds because the understanding of the other players, the legislature, the bureaucrats, was not at the same speed. So time was lost to connect what we had done in the last 5 years and what we are doing in the next in these second 5 years.
Good enough, Your
And
Excellency.
also a bit of time has been expended and energy on the BBI process and the handshake to try and bring the country together. And because of the expenditure of resources and energy in that direction, that is why there is a gap between what we did the last 5 years and what we have managed to do the last 2 years, going into the next 3 years. But I think the programs now are gaining traction.
This will happen. Money will be back in the pockets of majority.
Absolutely.
Young people will get jobs.
Absolutely. In fact, the whole housing program is about nothing but jobs.
I wanted to ask you about additional industries that were to be created that were supposed to provide these jobs. But anyway, Your Excellency, I've taken a lot of your time. And before we leave, I'd just like to ask you this question. From outside, you have everything. You're a man of God. You're a wealthy man. You have a planned position in government. You're the second in command in the country. Are you happy?
I am a very happy man. My friend, I sleep very well. I sleep 8 hours. Yeah? And for your information, I am never bothered by, I see many people worry about many things. You know? I may not have all the things you have said. You know, they have said many things, you know, about this and that and that and that. But I am truly blessed. From where I have come from to where I am today, I cannot complain.
All right.
Yeah. God has been kind to me. The people of Kenya have been more than fair to me. I mean, I have participated in 5 elections.
Successfully?
Actually, 7 elections.
Probably only the 92 one wasn't successful.
No, I'm saying as a person. I never ran in 1992.
No, 2002.
Yeah,
when you supported
in
President.
2002, although I never lost as a member of parliament, but we didn't win the presidency. So God has been kind to me.
And good to you.
I cannot complain.
All right.
And it would be unfair for me to complain to anybody.
We have pressure, just all the time, pressures of life, and people have different ways of unwinding. Others drink, go to the club, as do other things. What do you do when you have pressure and you need to relieve your pressure?
You know, I don't know how to put it, but I have never found myself with pressure. I take I take everything as it comes. You know, if I worried about
your job
things,
is I
would be dead. If I were to, you know,
worry a little bit about what's happening.
It is very difficult to be William Ruto.
Yes. That's why I asked you if you are happy, because we know it's
but
very difficult.
God has been graceful to me.
Okay.
You know, I take everything in its stride. I never take anything to heart. And I do what I can and leave the rest to God.
Great.
You know,
thank you, Your Excellency. It's been an honor and a pleasure.
Thank you, my good brother,
for sharing your perspective with Kenyans.
Yeah.
Asante sana. And we hope to do this again some other time. Yes. And thank you for watching. A lot of feedback. We will not be able to look at everything. It's a few minutes past 11. But Mark Musa is still in studio to close this for us. Mark?